There is something dangerous happening in the church today. Fasting has been reduced to dieting. Prayer has been reduced to emotional relief. And spiritual power has been reduced to social media aesthetics. But fasting is not a trend. It is not a spiritual detox. It is not hunger for the sake of suffering. Fasting is a violent declaration of dependency on God. And most believers have never been taught the truth about it. Tonight we correct that, because if you misunderstand fasting, you will abuse it. If you abuse it, you will become frustrated. If you become frustrated, you will eventually abandon it. So let us rebuild the theology properly. Part 1, what fasting actually is. Biblical definition. Let's start with precision. In Scripture, fasting is the voluntary abstinence from food and sometimes water for a spiritual purpose. Hebrew word som, to cover the mouth. Greek word nesteia, not eating. Notice, it is not skipping meals accidentally. It is not starving because of lack. It is intentional. Fasting is a deliberate act of humbling the body to strengthen the spirit. Psalm 35:13. I humbled my soul with fasting. The Bible links fasting to humility, not manipulation of God, not impressing heaven. Humility. And humility is the posture that attracts grace. James 4:6. God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. So fasting is not primarily about changing God. It is about positioning yourself. Part 2, fasting does not make God move. This is where many people get it wrong. They think, if I fast long enough, God will be forced to answer. No. God is sovereign. He is not pressured by human hunger. Isaiah 58 exposes this misunderstanding. The people fasted and said, why have we fasted and you do not see? God responds, because your heart is wrong. Fasting does not manipulate God. It transforms you. It sharpens perception. It aligns motives. It kills flesh. It sensitizes you to the spirit. The power of fasting is not hunger. The power is alignment. When the flesh quiets, the spirit becomes audible. Part 3, why Jesus fasted. This is critical. Jesus was the Son of God. Yet before beginning public ministry, he fasted 40 days. Luke 4:1-2. He was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. Notice, the Spirit led him into fasting. It was preparation. And what happened immediately after the fast? Temptation. This is another truth people ignore. Fasting does not eliminate warfare. It intensifies it. The devil tempted Jesus at his weakest physical point. But here is the power. Every temptation was defeated with Scripture. So fasting plus word equals authority. Luke 4:14. Then Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit. Before fasting, filled with the Spirit. After fasting, operating in power. There is a difference between having the Spirit and walking in power. Fasting transitions believers from potential to activation. Part 4, fasting weakens the flesh. Paul says in Galatians 5:17, the flesh and the spirit are in conflict. The flesh is not just your body. It is your fallen appetite, lust, pride, impulses, emotional reactions. Fasting disrupts appetite. And when you discipline physical hunger, you strengthen spiritual restraint. If you cannot say no to food, you will struggle to say no to sin. This is why fasting has power over addiction, lust, and uncontrolled habits. It retrains your will. It tells your body, you are not in charge. And many believers today are ruled by their appetites. Fasting restores hierarchy, spirit over body, conviction over craving, purpose over pleasure. Part 5, types of fasting in Scripture. Let's be doctrinally accurate. Normal fast, no food, water allowed. Jesus, Matthew 4. Absolute fast, no food or water. Esther, 3 days. Partial fast, restricted diet. Daniel 10, vegetables and water. Corporate fast, nation fasting together. Joel 2. Private fast, secret before God. Matthew 6. Each serves a purpose. But here is the key. The Bible does not prescribe one rigid formula. The power is not in duration. It is in devotion. Part 6, Isaiah 58. The fast God chooses. This chapter is foundational. God says, is this not the fast I have chosen? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free. This reveals something critical. True fasting produces justice. It changes character. It softens the heart. If you fast and remain cruel, arrogant, and divisive, you wasted hunger. Biblical fasting increases compassion, and then God gives promises. Then your light shall break forth like the morning. Then you shall call and the Lord will answer. Notice the sequence. Alignment, then light, then clarity, then response. Power follows transformation. Part 7. Fasting and Spiritual Authority. In Matthew 17, the disciples could not cast out a demon. Jesus says, "This kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting." Not all battles are equal. Some resistance requires deeper consecration. Fasting intensifies spiritual focus. It clears spiritual interference. It is not magic. It is concentration of devotion, and devotion releases authority. But again, this without prayer, fasting is just suffering. They are inseparable. Part 8. Dangers and errors about fasting. Let's be mature here. Fasting can become a performance, a pride badge, a competition, a superstition. Jesus warned, "When you fast, do not look gloomy." Spiritual ego cancels spiritual reward. Also, fasting without wisdom can harm the body. If someone has medical conditions, they must use discernment. The body is a temple, not an enemy. Fasting disciplines the body. It does not destroy it. Part 9. What actually happens when you fast? Here is the deeper theology. Your senses become sharper spiritually. Your prayer becomes focused. Distractions lose intensity. Scripture becomes illuminated. Emotional noise reduces. You begin to discern more clearly, not because God started speaking, but because you became quiet enough to hear. Fasting lowers internal volume, and God often speaks in stillness. Part 10. The real power of fasting. Now we arrive at the core. The power of fasting is not in hunger. It is in surrender. When you fast, you are saying, "God, you are more necessary than food," and food is survival. So fasting is declaring, "You are my survival." This is why fasting is powerful. It reorders love. It reorders desire. It reorders priority. And when priority is restored, clarity follows. When clarity follows, obedience strengthens. When obedience strengthens, authority increases. That is the chain. So should every believer fast. Jesus said in Matthew 6, "When you fast, not if." This assumes believers will fast. But fasting is not seasonal hype. It is rhythm, a lifestyle of periodic consecration. And here is the final truth. Fasting will not impress God, but it will change you. And a changed person prays differently, lives differently, hears differently, resists differently. That is the power, not hunger, transformation. And when transformation is consistent, power becomes natural.